Hi guys, this is a follow-up video about rational expressions. In my previous video I explained what rational expressions were, the different types, and how to simplify them. In this video we're going to do a few more practice problems. So here in the first example we have a binomial on the numerator and then a trinomial on the denominator. So let's try to factor the trinomial in order to get a common factor somehow. So let's factor it here. So we have m squared minus 5m plus 6. We're going to look at the third term, so it's positive 6. Middle term is negative 5. So we want two numbers to multiply to positive 6 and to add up to negative 5. So what are the factors or numbers that multiply to 6? We have 1 and 6. We have 2 and 3. And that's it, 3 and 2, right? So how do we can we possibly get these two numbers to work together to make a negative 5 and a positive 6 if we put them together? Let's see. If you had a positive 1 and negative 6, they would multiply to form negative 6 and they would add up to minus 5, so it would not work here. However, if you had minus 2 and minus 3, if you added them, they would add up to minus 5. If you multiplied them, they would multiply to positive 6. So these are the numbers that we're looking for, which means that this trinomial factors to m minus 2, m minus 3. So I'm going to write it here. I'm going to substitute the factors with the trinomial. M minus 2 times m minus 3. Now here, m minus 2 is a common factor in the numerator and the denominator, which means that we can cancel it out. If we cancel something out, it's replaced by 1. So this is 1 over m minus 3. Now what are the restrictions? Restrictions are basically numbers or values of m, possible values of m that would render the denominator 0. So let's see. Here, if m was 2, this will be 2 minus 2. This whole thing would be 0, and a 0 would multiply the other factor, rendering the whole thing to 0, right? So m minus 2 cannot equal to 0. So what value of m would make it 0? If m was 2, then this factor will be 0. And same deal here, m minus 2 is equal to 0. So if m was equal to 3, the whole thing would be 0. So m cannot equal to 2 or 3. Let's move on to our next example. R squared minus 4, 5r plus 10. Let's see. Let's factor something. So r squared minus 4 is a perfect square. This factors to r minus 2 and r plus 2. The denominator, ugly line, let's try to fix that. On the denominator, let's see, what can we factor out? Both terms have 5 as a common multiple, common factor. So if we take the 5 out, we're left with r plus 2. That luckily is a common factor. Let's cancel out the r plus 2 and we're left with r minus 2 over 5. What are the restrictions? Well, if r was equal to, let's see, 5r, let's equal the denominator to 0 to see what values will make it 0. So 5r is equal to minus 10, and r is equal to minus 10 over 5, which is minus 2. If r was equal to minus 2, then the denominator will be 0. So r cannot equal minus 2. Let's move on. Again, third example, we're going to factor it. So let's see. What two numbers multiply to positive 25 and add up to 10? So it's 1 and 25. I'm not going to write that down. 2, no. 3, no. 4, 5, and 5. Let's see. 5 and 5. If you multiply positive 5 and positive 5 together, they would multiply to positive 25 and they add up to positive 10. So this factors out to y plus 5. Y plus 5 y plus 5 on the denominator. So we can cancel y plus 5 out and we're left with, again, y plus 5. I feel like a broken record. Let's see, what values of y would make the denominator 0? So this is our checking step. Y plus 5 is equal to 0. Let's see what value. Y is equal to minus 5. So if y is equal to minus 5, then the denominator will be 0. So here we can say y cannot equal minus 5. So we check, even if we canceled it, we have to still check at every step of the way. We check every denominator and make sure that nothing, or exclude all the values that would render it 0. Next, here we have y minus 2. Here we have 2 minus y. So let's see, what can we do to make them, to have a common factor? Well, if you take out a minus 1 from the denominator, it will be minus 2 plus y. So it would change the sign of everything. So I'm going to rearrange this in a way that would make the result kind of obvious to you guys. Okay? So here we have y minus 2 again. So I put the y, I just basically switched these two terms around. So you can see that this is a common factor. Y minus 2 is a common factor. So it cancels out and we're left with, like I said earlier, if you cancel something out, you're left with 1 over minus 1. What is 1 divided by minus 1? It is just minus 1. Okay? Are there restrictions here? Certainly. Let's see here on the denominator what value of y would make it 0. So since y is negative here, I'm going to switch it over so it can gain a positive value. So here y is equal to 2. Y cannot equal to 2. That's our, well, to 2. That's our restriction here. And I think we have one more example. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that's the last one. So let's factor out this first expression. Here we have, we're looking for two numbers that would multiply to positive 4 and add to positive 4. So it is plus 2 and plus 2. And on the bottom, we're looking for two numbers that multiply to positive 6 and add to plus 5. So let's see, plus 2, plus 3. They would multiply to positive 6 and then add to positive 5. Let's do that. X plus 2, x plus 3. X plus 2 is a common factor, thankfully, so we can cancel something out. And we're left with x plus 2 over x plus 3. What are the restrictions? Well, we have to look at every step of the way. So we have to look at this one. So x plus 2 cannot equal to 0. What value would make it 0? X is equal to minus 2. So if x was minus 2, this would be 0. And that 0 would multiply this expression, rendering the entire denominator 0. Same with x plus 3 is equal to 0. So x is equal to minus 3. This value would render the denominator 0. So here we can say x cannot equal to minus 2 or minus 3. These are the two restrictions, the values that x cannot have, because if x had these two values, then this expression will be invalid or indefinite, erroneous. So I hope that this video helped, and if you have any more questions, just put it in the comments section. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. Just click the red button. Bye!